The year is 2025. You've secured your PlayStation 5, maybe even upgraded to the Pro, but your wallet needs to breathe. The free-to-play market has exploded into a massive economy, but let's be honest, it is filled with junk bonds. Games that demand your money, waste your storage, and disrespect your time. As smart gamers, we don't just download randomly. We allocate capital. Your time is the currency. Your SSD space is the real estate. And your enjoyment? That is the ROI. Today, PS5 Gameplay Hub presents your 2026 Market Prospectus. We have analyzed the charts to bring you the top 10 free-to-play assets that actually respect your investment. We are auditing everything: the hidden pay-to-win fees, the storage costs, and the pro-enhanced performance. Which title is the next blue-chip stock? And which one is a volatile trap? Let's open the portfolio. Opening our portfolio at number 10 is the first Descendant. If you purchased a PS5 or PS5 Pro specifically to see what next-gen graphics look like, this game is your quarterly dividend. Built on Unreal Engine 5, the lighting, character models, and environmental textures are arguably the best in the free-to-play sector. Playing as characters like Bunny feels incredibly fast, with motion blur and particle effects that showcase the console's GPU power without stuttering. However, you need to understand the risk profile here. This is a classic looter shooter. The gameplay loop is designed around repetition. You will be running the same interception battles and infiltrating the same outposts dozens of times to chase a 3% drop rate. The monetization is also aggressive. The ultimate character skins are stunning, but they carry a premium price tag that might shock conservative investors. Invest here if you want a visual spectacle to show off your TV, but be careful not to over-leverage your wallet on cosmetics. Number 9 is the safest asset in gaming history, Rocket League. In a market volatile with constantly changing metas, nerfed weapons, and new operators, Rocket League remains the gold standard of consistency. It is soccer with rocket-powered cars, simple to understand, yet impossible to master. The physics engine is fair, predictable, and entirely skill-based, meaning your equity in this game never depreciates. On the PS5, this asset matures into something special. You absolutely need to enable the 120 FPS performance mode. The reduction in input latency is a game changer, allowing for millisecond perfect aerials, dribbles, and saves that feel sluggish on older hardware. There is zero pay to win here. A player who spent $0 can dominate a whale who spent $1,000. Be warned though, the time to fun ratio can be rough at the start. You will miss the ball, you will look foolish, but once you hit your first aerial goal, the ROI is priceless. If you prefer a hands-off investment strategy, look at number 8, Honkai Star Rail. This is a turn-based RPG from Hoyoverse that trades reflex-based action for tactical planning and deep storytelling. It essentially functions like a passive income asset. You can use the auto battle feature to grind resources while you multitask, respecting your time as a busy gamer. The production value on PS5 is staggering. We are talking native 4K resolution, orchestral soundtracks, and character ultimate animations that rival premium anime movies. Thanks to the PS5's SSD, loading into new planets or entering combat is instantaneous. However, the risk factor is the gacha system. It is designed to tempt you into gambling for new characters. You can clear all content for free, but the FOMO is real. Also, be prepared to read. This asset pays dividends in lore and story, not adrenaline. If you skip dialogue, you are missing the entire point of the investment. Number 7 is the finals, the most physically demanding stock on the market. Most shooters let you open doors. This game lets you blow up the entire wall, sink the floor, or drop a crane on your enemies. It utilizes server-side physics destruction that pushes the PS5 CPU to its limit, yet somehow manages to hold a steady 60 FPS performance target. For PS5 Pro owners, the ray-traced global illumination is a standout feature, making the chaos of collapsing buildings and gold coins spilling everywhere look eerily realistic. The monetization is extremely fair, focusing purely on style and fashion. But here is the deal breaker. This is a team asset. If you play solo without a microphone, your stock value crashes immediately. You need coordination to steal cash-outs and survive the chaos. Invest here only if you have reliable partners or excellent communication skills. Otherwise, the volatility might bankrupt your patience. At number 6, we have the new console IPO, Valorant. Riot Games has finally brought their tactical 5v5 shooter to PS5, and they solved the controller aiming issue with a brilliant feature called Focus Mode. This allows you to move quickly with high sensitivity, but slows down for precision aiming when you trigger it, mimicking the accuracy of a mouse. This is not a run-and-gun asset like Call of Duty. It requires patience, angle holding, and economic management every single round. You literally have to buy your guns with in-game currency. The 120 Hz mode on PS5 provides the fluidity required for pixel-perfect reaction times. The catch? The stress levels are incredibly high. You have 1 life per round. If you die early, you are spectating for the next 2 minutes. Also, the weapon skins are notoriously expensive, some costing more than entire indie games. But for competitive purity, it is unmatched. Breaking into the top 5 is the coolest stock on the block, Zenless Zone Zero. If Persona 5 and Devil May Cry merged into a startup, this would be it. The urban hip-hop aesthetic combined with fluid, parry-based combat makes this the most stylish game on PS5 right now. The colors pop off the screen in 4K HDR, and the animations are buttery smooth. The combat is the Dividend here. Switching characters mid-combo to trigger massive chain attacks feels incredible, and the DualSense haptics let you feel every metal-on-metal clash. It runs at a locked 60 FPS, which is crucial for those split-second dodges. The risk? The pacing can be uneven. Between the amazing combat sections, you have to navigate TV mode grid puzzles that slow the momentum down significantly. But if you can tolerate the downtime, the action payoff is one of the highest in the free-to-play sector. Number 4 is the Diablo killer we have been waiting for, Path of Exile 2. Launching into the console space with a massive feature, local couch co-op. This allows you to diversify your investment by bringing a partner onto the same screen, a rarity in 2026. The graphics have received a massive overhaul compared to the first game, looking dark, gritty, and properly next-gen on PS5 hardware. The combat is punchier, adding a dodge roll mechanic that makes it feel more like an action game than a spreadsheet simulator. The monetization is the fairest in the industry. You buy storage space for your loot, not power. However, the complexity is a massive barrier to entry. The passive skill tree looks like a subway map of Tokyo. It is intimidating. But for players who love deep theory crafting and want a game that rewards 1,000 hours of study, this asset offers unlimited returns. Entering the top 3 is the heavyweight champion, Call of Duty Warzone. With the integration of the new Omni movement system, the stock value of Warzone has skyrocketed. You can sprint, slide, and dive in any direction, making the gameplay faster and more fluid than ever before. It fundamentally changes how you engage in gunfights, raising the skill ceiling significantly. On PS5, the 120Hz mode is mandatory for survival. The visual clarity and reduced motion blur give you a tangible advantage when tracking targets. The gunplay remains best in class, with haptic feedback giving every caliber a distinct weight. However, this asset is expensive in terms of storage. It demands over 100 gigabytes of your SSD real estate. You essentially have to evict 2 or 3 other games just to house this one title. Is it worth the space? For the sheer scale and polish of the Battle Royale experience, the answer is still yes. The runner-up is the game that filled the void left by Battlefield, Delta Force Hawk Ops. This is combined arms warfare at its finest. We are talking tanks, helicopters, destruction, and massive player counts, all for $0. It offers distinct modes, a traditional large-scale conquest mode, and a high-stakes extraction mode, giving you a diversified portfolio of gameplay options within a single download. The visual fidelity on PS5 is genuinely shocking. The Havoc Warfare mode pushes the console hard with explosions and vehicle physics, yet maintains impressive stability. PS5 Pro users will notice better draw distances, allowing you to spot snipers across the map with clarity. It strikes the perfect balance between tactical depth and arcade fun. The monetization focuses on operators and skins, avoiding gross pay-to-win mechanics. If you missed the glory days of large-scale military shooters, Delta Force is the IPO you need to buy into right now. And finally, the #1 asset in your 2026 portfolio. The Unicorn, Marvel Rivals. This game is not just trending, it is defining the genre. It takes the hero shooter formula and injects it with superpowers that actually feel super. Iron Man flies freely, Hulk smashes entire buildings to create new paths, and Doctor Strange opens portals to flank enemies. The team-up abilities add a layer of synergy that forces you to cooperate, like Rocket Raccoon riding on Groot's shoulder. The destructible environments on PS5 are the game changer here. Walls are not safe cover, they are temporary obstacles. The visuals, powered by Unreal Engine 5, pop with color and detail, especially with PSSR upscaling on the PS5 Pro. It is accessible, visually stunning, and completely free of pay-to-win mechanics. It has the highest time-to-fun ratio on this list. You jump in, pick a hero, and immediately start having a blast. Marvel Rivals is the smart gamer's #1 pick for 2026. There you have it, 10 opportunities to diversify your gaming portfolio without spending a dime. From the tactical stress of Valorant to the chaotic destruction of the finals and the superhero dominance of Marvel Rivals. Remember, the free market is volatile. Storage space is limited, and time is your most valuable resource. Don't hold on to junk assets that don't pay you back in joy. Be critical of where you invest your hours. Check the monetization, check the file size, and play what respects you as a gamer. So, I have one question for the investors watching. If you could only install one of these games on your PS5 for the entire year, which one would it be? Are you going all in on Marvel, or holding safe with Rocket League? Drop your pick in the comments below. I read every single trade strategy. Subscribe to PS5 Gameplay Hub for more ROI reports, tech analysis, and honest reviews. Invest wisely, play smart. I'll see you on the next bell.